What it do, man? It's your boy Josh back up in this thing with another one. We woke up this morning. It's another beautiful day. All praise to the Most High, man. Let's get it. Women are not the problem. Guys, the reason why I am doing this video is because last week I was talking to one of my homies. We used to work together and we've stayed in touch ever since we stopped working together. But we try to talk to each other maybe once or twice a week. And the one thing he told me the last week when I was on the phone was with him is he was discussing his situation with, his son, his baby mom. To give you guys some context, he's dislocated. He's in another city, another state currently, separated away from his baby moms. When him and his baby mom split up, she took the son and they went to some other location, and he went and he stayed in the same location in which he is right now. And so he's distant from his son. He's distant from the mother of his child. He is experiencing the consequences or the negativity associated with, not being in the same location or same city as your child. And the conversation went on, and he said something that really struck a chord with me. And he said, man, my baby mama ruined my life. Now, this individual who I'm talking to is 29 years old. I mean, just turned 30 years old. And he said, my baby mom's has ruined my life. And that struck a chord with me. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I told him. I said, bro, repeat what you just said. I was like, are you actually hearing what it is that you're saying? I was like, brother, never admit, never speak into the existence, never speak to the universe, never proclaim somebody has that much impact and that much power over you. Never put yourself willingly in such a feeble, submissive, lesser position. Never acknowledge somebody's impacts has so much significance to the point where she is defined as the reason as to why our life will never be good from here on out for the rest of our days. Never give the responsibility of ensuring that you have a high quality life is in the hands of somebody else. Now, his perspective, or what he meant by that, I get it. But the only person that he has to blame is himself. He chose to procreate with that woman. He chose that woman. I remember when he nutted inside of her, he knew exactly what he was doing when he did it and who he was doing it with. And now he is having to deal with the repercussions based on the decisions he made. And the decisions that he has made to this point, or the decision that he made when it came to dealing with her, was a temporary decision. It was an emotion-based feeling. It was a feeling in which he felt happy and he felt like it was the right thing to do. But logically, it wasn't the right thing to do. And now he sees that as time has passed. So what am I saying? I am, bringing up the issue that I see most young men have as far as in women being the reason as to why they will never be great or why they won't be successful. Fellas, you chose to deal with that woman. You chose to be with her. You chose to, and nobody made you do that. You didn't have to do that. You chose to do that. Nobody said, hey, bro, you better get with that woman. Hey, bro, you better have intercourse with that woman. Hey, bro, you better go get her number. Hey, you better. This is what you chose to do. Now, why did you do this? It's because you may desire to be with a woman. Now, we may have some sort of desires, But our desires cannot have control over us. We must have control over our desires. And when you do not have control over your desires can consume you and start to control your life. You don't feel like you're in control, which is why he feels as if he wasn't in control. Why he feels he doesn't have control in his life right now. Because long ago, when he was desiring to be with this woman, he didn't have control over her, because the reason as to why he didn't have control is because he willingly nutted inside of a woman that was not his wife. If he were to exercise any sort of discipline and logic and any consideration for his future self, he would have said, you know what? This woman is not my wife. Let me go ahead and put the measures in place so that I don't have the deeper commitment level to her than I intend on. You chose to throw caution to the window. You chose that. Nobody made you do that. You chose that. And as a man, you have nobody else to blame but yourself. It is not the woman's fault. She is who she is. She showed you who she was. You saw the signs. Yet you still desired to proceed. Why? Because you were controlled by your desires. You were controlled by your lust. You were not in control. Because if you were in control, you would have did the decision that would have put you in the best position. Not in the position that's going to put you in a lesser feeble position. But because you couldn't exercise discipline, because your lust, because you wanted her. A lot of you guys get with certain women only for the specific purpose of it just being physical. Now, you must realize that if you are not willing to commit to this woman, you are doing an act in which committed men do with their committed women. You may say something, you may think something, you may say, yeah, I don't want to be with this woman, yet your actions are not in tune with it. You're having intercourse with a woman. That is the utmost commitment you can give to her. That is the one special thing. That is the highest form of connection in the entire universe. That is the highest form of showing commitment. That is what its intended purpose is for. But what have we done as men? We have perverted something that God has created for something to be beautiful and lovely. We have perverted it to where we are doing it not because we emotionally feel a certain, but we're doing it because we don't have any control over ourselves. This said thing, this lust, this sexual desire is controlling us. So much so to the point to where we are doing things that are way, way, way far out in the boundaries where we're not willing to cross. But we're over here saying, yeah, you can't be my girlfriend. She looks more than your girlfriend if you're doing that with her. She's doing a lot more than what a girlfriend would do if she's doing that with you. She's doing what a wife would do. But this is somebody you have trouble committing to. You have her acting as if she is your wife. You have her acting as if she is the one that you are willing to emotionally bond at a level that is out of your control. Because that's what you're doing when you're having intercourse with a woman, is that you don't have any control of the bonding action. The process of the bonding, the chemical, the brain, all of those things that take place that's outside of your control, that's within your human DNA, how you're wired, is going to take you there, and yet your words and your thoughts are in a different place. Do you guys see the disconnect? So don't be surprised when you find yourself committed or attached or tied to this woman for the rest of your life, because you were doing actions in which that will be the case. That action, the action of having intercourse, is an action in which you are saying, I am willing to be emotionally fit. I am willing to be bind to this person for the rest of my life. But we don't even want to say, yeah, you can be my boyfriend. So what it is that you you are trying to have your cake and eat it too. Now I get it, we're men. We're filled with testosterone. The Most High has given us this energy to use for its intended purpose. But you must have control over it and it not having control over you, because if you don't have control over it, it will put you in a situation in which you don't feel as if you have control. If you guys are consistently attracting women that are not mating up to standard in which you cannot commit to, that is another situation. That is another thing that we can discuss about right now. It's one, you're attracting a woman in which you are not committed to, or you don't find yourself wanting to commit to them. Why? Let that first be the question. Why are you willing to go and experience extreme lengths with somebody in which you're trying to minimize what they are? You want them to do the actions of all of this, but you want to minimize their role. It's not in tune. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about the women that we're attracting, because this all falls within the scope of discipline, and specifically what we're talking about is sexual discipline. A lot of you guys are in scarcity, and a lot of you guys are controlled by your lust, because a lot of you guys choose to be with women in which you know deep down inside is not meant for you, but because you are controlled by your desire, because you don't have any discipline, you choose the easy wrong decision versus the harder right. The easy wrong decision is, man, I got this girl right here. Man, I know this girl right here. Man, this is the girl right here that can take care of that need for me. She can scratch that itch that I need scratching. Why? Because I'm not willing to exercise the discipline to go without. I'm not willing to sacrifice to go without. I need this itch scratched right now. And so I'm willing to allow somebody who I know deep down that is not meant for me to be with long term. I'm allowing her to go ahead and give me this scratch. Just go ahead and scratch this temporarily. You know deep down inside when a woman is meant for you. Yet you choose to take it to a level in which it becomes a point of no return, take it to a level in which you can't undo. The harder right decision is saying, hey, I'm going to exercise some discipline. I know that this is this woman that I don't have any intentions of being with in the long-term future. So why would I even risk her being the mother of my children if I've already deemed, don't lie to yourself either, fellas. We don't need a lot of time to determine whether or not a woman is worthy or whether or not we are willing to commit to this woman. We don't need a lot of time. You can know based on the first week, based on how she's talking to you. You've seen everything, and you've already put into your mind which one you think, oh yeah, she's the one, I can see her all the way. Or man, I don't see her being all the way, but she would be a nice girlfriend. Or man, I don't see her as being my girl at all, but she's nice to touch up on and have her. We all, from the initial point we meet up with this woman, we have already put her in a specific category. Either she's wifey material, either she could be girlfriend material, she could be wifey material, but we don't see wifey material, so right now she's just girlfriend material, and we got some sort of people that we know for a fact that we ain't willing to commit to. So tell me why. We already know what type of woman who this is be. Tell me why, no matter what category she's in, we're willing to do the acts of a wife. We're willing to let her do the acts of a wife. We're willing to be in our space and take up that seed and play house. All why? Because you do not want to go without. So you'll settle for less. Because you can't go without. Why? Because you ain't got no discipline. Why? Because you don't got that dog in you. Why? Because you're not in control. And the only reason why you aren't in control is because you decided to let go of the steering wheel and hop in the back seat and let everything else, let your subconscious, let your desires, you decided it to let it drive instead of you. Now you are complaining about where you are right now, but you didn't decide to get into the driver's seat until now. Where have you been at for the past few years? You've been standing idly by in the backseat, allowing your desires and letting your urges take you wherever they take you. And because you can't exercise discipline, it's women's fault as to why you aren't where you're supposed to be. It's a woman's problem as to why you haven't elevated and became the man that you... It's a woman's fault why you aren't fulfilled. That's another thing. Y'all boys think that these women are supposed to make you happy. They don't make you happy. That's not their job. The only person that can make you happy is you, bro. You. I know there's some dudes that's watching this video and, oh man, if I had a girlfriend, I'd be happy. You dummy. Then you get a girlfriend, and then you're happy. Okay, now your happiness is based on the presence of one individual. This individual could be here today and gone tomorrow. And just like that, there goes your happiness. Here today, gone tomorrow. You got no control over it. That is not happiness. That is called codependency. Happiness is not caring caring about the people that decide to be in your life, cool. But the day they decide to leave out your life, you don't feel like the world is in it. Why? Because you were good before them and you're going to be good after them. Why? Because you've reached the sense of fulfillment and you recognize that the only way that you can feel happy, the only way that you can feel fulfilled is if you give it to yourself. Nobody can give it to you, bro. Nobody. You have to be happy on your own in order for you to be happy in a relationship. If you aren't happy on your own and you look at being in a relationship or being with a specific woman as the solution, I'm going to go ahead and tell you exactly how it is going to end. She is going to be aware of that you desire her. She's going to be aware, or she's going to become aware of the role you have, or the role she has in your life. That he will not be happy unless I'm here. That he is desperate. That he cannot function without me. That is a turnoff for a lot of women. Why? Why does it mean? Just in layman's terms, it means you got no motion. It means after I leave here, you will be distraught, you will be sad, you will become unfocused, you will stay idly by. That is not a man in which she wants to be. And when she figures that out, that's why women step out. That's why women will start to look at other men, is because she has lost all desire to be with you because you turned her off so much, because you've shown her how much of a role and how much of significance she has in your life. So much significance in which you have given her the power to be control over something in which she was never designed to have control over. Oh, she like, I did not sign up for this. I did not sign up for making sure that this man Josh was always happy. I did not know that based on how happy he is was based on entirely what I do. I did not know that he was going to make me the center of his life and he was going to move and operate just to make me happy, as opposed to moving and operating and making himself happy. I thought he was ambitious. I thought he was inspired. I thought he was all about creating a life for himself. And that his mission was the mission that God had given him when he put him on this earth, that purpose that he gave him. I have quickly noticed that his purpose is no longer what God wanted him to do, but now it's all on me. I'm now his purpose. And ask yourself, do you think that that's what God is satisfied with? Why did God create Eve? God didn't create Eve so that Adam could make Eve his sole entire purpose. No. God put Adam on earth because God wanted Adam to fulfill a certain purpose. God gave Adam Eve so that she can complement him. So that he had somebody to help him. So he didn't have anybody, so he didn't just end up all alone. But it wasn't supposed to be his main purpose. She was just there to complement, to be a helpmate, to add on to the purpose, the chasing of the purpose, the following of the purpose. She was just supposed to add to. She wasn't supposed to be the focal point. She wasn't supposed to seize or stop you from doing anything. But the reason as to why you stopped is because you are you got everything you needed. You thought, oh, once I get a girl, that checks all the answers. That's all I need. And then when she leaves, what do you have left? When you use her for a purpose in which she was not designed for. She was not designed to be the center of your life, bro. You were not created to serve a woman and to be something a woman. You are on this earth for what God wanted you to do, bro. And you have to chase it and stay in that. If you are chasing that and you are on his purpose and you are just trying to focus on chasing God and aligning yourself in with him, he's going to give you an Eve, bro, to help you. But that's the reason why a lot of y'all are lonely right now, bro, is because you're like, oh, I don't know what you ain't doing nothing. Even if you were supposed to get a girlfriend right now, what is she helping you with? What is she complimenting you to? She just going to be stuck right there with you? Here you are sitting idly by, ain't doing nothing, and all you do is just confess to the universe like, man, I want a girlfriend. Man, I want a girl. Yeah, you keep pointing out the thing that you lack. But the Most High has already given you everything that you need. He's given you everything in order for you to chase the intended purpose he has for you. You have everything you need to do that, but yet you still don't do it. You're more infatuated with serving a woman as opposed to serving God, which is really what the problem is. You're focused on what you don't have instead of focusing on what you do have. You're only focused on trying, really the point is the reason why y'all want these girls, bro, is you just really want to fuck. At the end of the day, that's it. You just want that itch to be scratched. That's it. That's it. Why? Because you are controlled by it. And the reason why you're controlled is because you choose to be controlled by it. It's because you don't step up and get back in the driver's seat and tell your body, tell yourself, this is what it is. We're not going to be having intercourse or anything with any sort of woman that I don't see myself being long-term with. I am going to, before I lay with a woman, I'm already going to screen myself or screen her and saying, is this a woman that meets the standard as far as in being the mother of my kids? Is this a woman I trust to be the mother of my kids? Is this a woman in which I see myself being with for the rest of my life? Is this a woman that I'm willing to make my girlfriend with the plans of eventually making her my wife? If she does not meet any of that criteria, do not choose the easy wrong decision by just being with her just for the specific purpose that she can scratch that itch for you. Choose the harder right. The harder right decision. What is the harder right decision? Prolonging and waiting and exercising patience for God to send you the one that's meant for you. He can't do that if you are controlled by your lust, controlled by your desire, controlled by a bunch of women that aren't even going to fulfill that role for you. Women are not the problem. The problem is you and your decisions and the situations that you choose to put yourself in. The reason why you are having problems with women is because you don't have any sort of discipline. You aren't chasing any sort of purpose. You desire so badly to be with a woman. You focus on it. You dial in on that. You focus on what you don't have instead of focusing on what you do have. Focusing on how you can make your life better. You have the assumption that you can't make your life better, that some woman is supposed to be the reason as to why your life can be better. Women are not the answer when it comes to your life being fulfilled. Women are not the answer when it comes to you being happy. You have to chase God and chase the purpose that God has given you. And you have to trust and have faith in him that everything outside of that is not within your control will fall in place naturally as it's supposed to. You don't worry about it. You don't desire. Your number one priority should not be trying to get with a woman. Your number one priority is figuring out what you got to do to fulfill what God had you doing or wants you to do. What are you doing to where God can receive glory, where he can receive praise? You aren't thinking about these things. And that is your problem. You are shoving off accountability, blaming women as the reason as to why you are in this rut. The reason why you are in this rut is because you have put yourself in this rut. You are not doing the actions that are aligned with where you want to be or who you want to be. You want to be something different. You want to be something of high quality, of high caliber. You have to do the actions that are in line with it as well. You just can't think about it. You just can't say it. You have to do the actions. And some of those actions are saying no. Some of those actions are making harder right decisions versus easy wrong decisions. But I just wanted it to be known where Josh Holt stands on the women topic. Because I know that's a lot of brothers' problems. And they are misconceived on where they think the source of their problems are coming from. The source of their problems have a lot to do with the actions and how they think and their mindset. You blaming I can see why you're having problems with women. Look at how you think. You think that they're the reason as to why you aren't having a good life. That's exactly why you are the way you are. It's because you're thinking like that. It's because you think that some other person has power over your life. You feel as if the things that are outside of your control really matter to you, really play a difference on you. You give power to the things outside of your control because you don't give power to the things you do have in your control, because that will require you to depend on yourself, depend on your action. And you blaming yourself, you depending on you is not in the equation. You can't do that. You can't do that. Yeah, you could have did something differently, but, you know, I think this other thing outside of me has more control than what I have control over my life. And that is exactly why you are where you are. And you will continue to be in this never-ending cycle, because this does not change until this up here changes. It has everything to do with your thoughts. Whatever you believe becomes reality. If you believe that a woman, you will never find the one, and that then reality will play out as such. But if you believe that you can meet the woman that's meant for you, designed for you, that can complement your life to the utmost degree. If you believe that, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and do actions that are in tune with finding her, I don't think going and interacting and having intercourse with a bunch of women is in line. Those actions are not in line with you finding the one that's meant for you. That's just me. Thoughts, words, and actions have to be aligned with your desired end state. Simple as that. Point blank, period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, this one was a long-winded video, but I think I said everything I needed to say. And so, with that being said, I hope this helps. Before y'all go, please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I'ma holler at y'all boys.